All right, continuing on with our hashtag March motivation, we have moved from fitness to finances, and we would like to welcome our guest expert, Martha Adams. Welcome to the Fresh Talk. Can you tell our freshies, our viewers, a little bit about yourself?
I'd love to. So I am definitely a geek when it comes to business. I've always loved everything business, and it's definitely been my passion. Education has always been my passion as well, and my goal was to combine those two things, and that's exactly what I did in starting my own independent financial planning practice 13 years ago.
Woo.
And
Yeah.
oldie but a goodie. And anyway, yeah, so that's what I do in my day-to-day. And then after the 9 to 5, I extend that passion in talking about our financial health and well-being and our relationship with money and our education around money and our understanding. And so something I really, really believe in, and I think that it's not talked about as much as it should be. And so I think it's so awesome that I get to sit here with with you lovely ladies today. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you and our freshies. So many finance questions. I think it's an easy topic to get talking about, and to admit we all have issues and a love-hate relationship with money. We're going to go to questions from our freshies, and the first one is from Andy Takar. Love him. I really like this question. How much money should someone in their 20s be saving? Now, it's very general, but the 20s are a weird, awkward, wonderful decade. But, you know, financially speaking, how much money should we be saving in our 20s in anticipation for our futures?
Yeah, so props, Andy. That is a really great question. And you bring up something so important because as a whole, we so often think that there's this general expectation of us in how much we should be saving. So I should start saving at this age, and from this age to this age, I should save this much. From this age to this age, I should do this much. And then we end up kind of throwing our hands up in the air because we're like, well, no, I can't do this, so forget it all, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, we blink and we're 45 and nothing has happened and we feel guilty. So what I'd love to suggest is that instead of looking at a generalization, look at ourselves as individuals, because anything in life is really based on who we are as individual people, and that's so beautiful. Why would we, you know, gloss over that for, you know, a traditional sort of being boxed into
grouping
something,
everyone
right?
together.
So at in our 20s, what I would suggest is definitely starting to save. That's where the power really lies, in getting that mindset around paying yourself first, right? Putting money aside for yourself.
Exactly what my financial planner said to me. His number one tip is pay yourself first.
I've never
number one
thought
tip.
of looking at it
He
like
says
that.
no matter what, you put away that dollar amount or that percentage before you pay bills, before you do anything. Pay yourself first.
Absolutely. And so what happens with that in putting money aside at the beginning of the month is that you don't get to the end of the month and you had every good intention of putting money away. And then what? Like, life happens, right? And then you feel really cruddy because you didn't get to save anything. And so that's the idea of paying yourself first. Putting yourself first and making yourself the priority versus whatever else it may be.
When you have that leftover, I don't know, but at the end of the month that you guys, I'm like, oh, I'm going to treat myself. But why not just put it away and really treat myself down the road when I've got that money there?
And it also helps us to keep in mind that we live within our means comfortably, right? We know that we've done part A of, you know, putting something aside for ourselves, and then of course paying our bills and doing all the things that we need to do, and then we can do the things we want to do.
I like
you know
that.
What I mean?
Yeah, that's a great way of looking at it.
Love it. Okay, this is from Ray Cat. Great question. Do you have any tips for saving a large sum of money while still being able to go out and enjoy life? So very balance-focused question.
Absolutely. So that actually ties in really well with Andy's question. And the same kind of tip applies of paying yourself first
Yeah.
and looking at your budget. And if it's a larger sum, that generally means that you're probably going to have to make some level of sacrifices,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you're really going to have to sit back, look at that spreadsheet, and say, what do I really need to be
Yeah.
spending? Do I really need this? And making accommodations, because if
Yeah.
you want change, you have to make change.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's really where, that strategy can be successful.
Yeah. I feel like our generation is struggling with, we feel very entitled, like we should have all of these things right away that we cannot afford,
Yeah.
but we somehow are making it happen, and it's just causing this very, very terrible debt-filled,
Disconnect.
20s and 30s
Yeah.
where everyone is house poor,
Yeah.
or the house isn't even achievable at this point. And I think, we're very muddy, I feel like, our generation with money.
I think we have a hard time differentiating between what we need to spend our money on and what we actually don't need to spend our money on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was living within a tiny budget while I was in Toronto, and it is amazing
yes.
when you take off
Yeah.
that monthly shellac manicure
Yeah.
and that monthly wax, the amount of money
Right.
that you can save
Yes.
is wild.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes, you bring up a really good point about debt.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when it comes to debt, we view it as our money, but it isn't.
No.
Right.
No.
We view it as our money to spend, and that's part of why we can get into these situations of unnecessary debt. But
We can all raise our hand to
Yeah.
that.
But you know what though?
Yeah.
And we've all been there.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
all have. And I think that what's key there is that we can also make a change and turn things around and empower ourselves. I mean, that's the big thing about our mindset around money is our own
Right.
empowerment around that knowledge.
Sure.
I think a lot of it has to do with what you prioritize and
Absolutely.
forgetting about what you're seeing other people do.
Yes.
Yes,
And just
comparison.
what's
Absolutely.
That's it.
It's the
Right?
devil.
Yes, comparison is the worst. And I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
now, there's so many amazing things that social media does. Incredible things. The fact that we have this platform that I get to sit down with you today is because of social
we obviously
media.
love social media.
But one of the things is to say, instead of having social media be something, because we can control what it is to us.
Right.
Yep.
And so instead of having it be something where we're comparing ourselves to someone else, why not be inspired by them? Right? To say, hey, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. It's not me.
Yeah.
It's you. I don't necessarily need this item to make me happy or to make me who I am.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that, like, looking at it through your eyes versus someone else's.
Yeah.
I think can make a real difference. And this really is all tied into finances because
It is.
We
Yeah.
look at something, and especially now when algorithms are so real, I'll be
Yes.
scrolling through mine
It's
and I'm
actually
like,
scary.
oh, look at this ad. Oh,
Yeah, I
I
know.
Of course I love this.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
But and then there's if you click on it,
Yeah.
of course they have all those easy peasy payment plans. You want to
Yeah,
buy this
everything.
$1,000 dress? No problem.
Finance
It's
the world.
$30,
Gosh, yeah.
right? And then we think, oh well, I can.
I can afford it, but
can
I
afford-
cannot afford it.
Yes,
No.
and I always say
Yeah.
when it comes to monthly expenses,
Yeah.
you do not get rich with monthly expenses. You don't, because
Okay.
it's just something constantly draining on your income,
Right.
And it might seem like all these little things,
Yeah.
but it really, really adds up. So if I was going to say anything, especially when it comes to saving a larger amount, watch carefully those monthly expenses.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
When you say
Subscriptions.
monthly expense, what
Yeah,
is
subscriptions.
Okay,
Yes,
okay. So we're not
subscriptions.
talking about a car payment because that's
No.
obviously
No,
important.
you need to pay
We're
that.
talking
No.
about
Definitely.
small
That's a
things.
great yes.
Like a beauty box.
Those little
Absolutely.
things that
or
add up.
boxes that
Yes.
sometimes we'll say, okay,
Yeah.
Only
I
this
can,
amount.
yes,
Yeah.
right,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I'm getting this value
Yeah.
of
A
items.
$250 box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Absolutely.
$60 a
Yes,
month.
yes,
Yeah.
and choose wisely what it is that you want, because when you save for something or when you make something a goal instead of an impulsive buy,
Yeah.
doesn't it feel so great?
Yeah.
It
It's
does.
like, right?
Yeah.
I know that when I've saved for something, I tell this story about it. I'm like,
Tell a whole
right?
Yeah.
It's like
This is what
I earned it.
happened. Yes.
Yes.
It was a journey to
Yeah.
something fabulous.
There's been an interesting conversation I've had with friends because there are subscription-based services for ebooks.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Everything.
you know,
Yeah.
the library has digital books, but they
Yeah.
don't want to wait even a day to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
sign up and then
Yeah.
get it and then
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
return it. It's just that is a small sacrifice. You still get what you want. Maybe not in the ideal. I'm gonna get it now.
Right
whatever
now.
I
Well, that's our
Yes.
generation
But
too. Is now,
it'll
now,
give
now.
you what you
Yeah.
still want
Instant.
with your financial goal.
Right.
Right.
And I think sometimes, like, that is such a great point. And I think sometimes that when we are looking at some of these monthly subscriptions and we're looking at it from our own viewpoint,
Yeah.
Yeah.
of, hey, it's only this or only that. And the instant gratification sort of
Yes.
mindset that you were referring to is just so real. Let's stop for a second and let's turn the tables around. And
Yeah.
let's look at it from a corporate perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is it so great for a company? It's great for a stockholder, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Because what happens?
Everyone's loving it,
You
yeah.
are turning an unknown income, potentially,
Into
right?
a
And
very known
fluctuations
income. Yeah.
into regular,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So think about it that way and say, does it actually make sense for me? Like, who's it really benefiting?
company, yeah.
All the things that pull us in are going to be there.
Yep.
Marketing is amazing.
Yes.
Right? And that's part of why I've always been so passionate about business, because no matter who we are, no matter what our career or life path is, we are exposed to the business world, and
Yeah.
specifically, of course, we're exposed to finances. It's the heart of so much
Yes.
in our
is.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, whoop, whoop. Financial education.
Yeah. I find like when you are actually saving money for that big purchase and you're like, okay, I finally have the money, I can go out and buy that big purchase.
Yeah.
When I do that extra step of saving and waiting,
Yeah.
that end purchase sometimes ends up cheaper.
Yes.
Sometimes
Yeah.
right?
That's a-
Because
Absolutely.
I am so
on
much more
sale.
invested and I do my research
Yeah.
and I make sure like I just worked so hard to make this happen.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I love
Yes.
This.
what I'm about to get
Yes.
instead of impulsively going out and buying it.
Yeah.
You're
So
so
hard for
right.
You're
your
just like,
money.
oh,
So right,
that one's
yeah.
okay. I'm just going
Yeah.
to take it and
Yeah.
I'll worry about paying off. But when you actually put in that work,
Yeah.
yeah.
You said something so key. We work so hard for our money.
really
Yeah.
do.
We forget that sometimes.
Right?
I think.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we so often forget how much money we actually had to earn
Yep.
to
Yeah.
pay taxes,
Yes.
to pay
Yeah.
all of the necessary expenses to
Yeah.
then have
Yes.
that discretionary income.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when we stop and we change our perspective,
Yeah.
it can be really powerful,
It can.
right? Really make us think about that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
saving for that big purchase was the question, and look where we are
I know,
now.
it's so-
This is
yeah.
very exciting.
It
And I
is.
love that
I
because,
know.
right? It's
I
so
think
important.
too, we have to remember like the stuff we've already paid for. Like, why do we forget about that right away?
So true.
I own a
Yeah.
car and a home. I use them every day. I think
Yeah.
that's good enough for
That's
me. Like, I don't
amazing.
need to go
Yeah.
buy something every day, constantly
Yeah.
searching for that new or filling
Yeah.
a void. Like,
Sure.
let's remember to enjoy the things we've already earned
Yeah.
and paid for,
Yeah.
instead of constantly being like all these things I don't have that I think I need and I need to go buy them.
That's a
So
good
true.
shift in
Really
perspective.
focus on what you already have and be very grateful
Yeah,
that you
it's
have
true.
those things.
You're so right. Gratitude is a huge part of
Yeah.
financial empowerment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I have a question. When you are saving up for that big purchase and you're working so hard for it, and you've made what feels like a really good decision right before you buy it. Let's
Yeah.
say, for example, it's an armchair that you've been
Okay.
waiting to put
Oh,
that
sure.
you need. You
Yeah.
need.
Yeah, yeah,
You need
sure.
to fill it up in your space.
Yeah.
It's a practical purchase.
Absolutely.
It goes on sale. You get it. It's still an expensive purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Is it normal, do you think, to have still like buyer's remorse the next day, even though you've worked so hard to save up that money, even though you need the item?
I think it's such a great point.
Yeah.
Sometimes because we've worked so hard to save up to buy it, that's where the remorse comes in. Because like we worked so hard for that, and
Yeah.
now it's all gone, and there's
Right.
Now I
one
just have a
item sitting
chair.
there, and it's like
I
it's
need
almost
to
like
sit in this.
yes, I will take it with
day.
me, and it's like you're almost like
sitting
mad
in
at
this
that
chair.
chair for what it's done
Right.
to like it is. So it's
Cost
so
me
mean.
this much months.
Yeah. I think you and the chair should sit down and have a conversation. Hash it out. Right? It's okay.
Not my chair, just an example.
Whatever it is, it's okay though. It's okay. We should.
It's a good
We should
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
good. But I sincerely have felt that
Yeah.
before. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Okay.
I'm just like, oh, bye.
Yeah.
I know.
Every
Okay, all right.
time you sit in the chair, take like $2 off the purchase price. So if it costs like $600 and you just sat in it all evening and read a book, it actually just costed $5.98. And then eventually it'll be free.
Cost per use.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true. Cost per use. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I like
good.
thinking of that when it comes to clothes. I'm like, okay, I'm buying this
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good sweater.
Exactly.
It might be expensive, but I know it's from a good quality company.
Yeah.
I know it's going to
Yes.
probably last me about 7 years, let's say, because it's really
Yeah.
great quality.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cashmere or something. And then every time I wear it, I'm like, okay, $5 here.
Yep,
I'm
Yeah.
paying
earned it.
$5 to wear this
Yes.
sweater.
Yeah. Divide the total amount you
Yeah.
spend by the amount of times you wore it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's what it
Average
cost me
out,
like
yeah.
$5.
You're like speaking my love language. Oh my God, it's just like you're talking. I'm just like, oh
She's like,
my
really
gosh,
hard.
I know. Like, I'm like your
just
biggest fan.
Rationalize things in my head.
So
this
beautiful.
way.
That was a beautiful
I mean,
moment.
that can be a danger
was.
zone as well.
I
'Cause
know,
then it's
it's
like,
not
oh, well, if I
completely
wear it 100
responsible.
times, then it's only 98 cents
Must
a wear.
wear the sweater Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, goodness.
How much and when should I be saving for retirement?
It's a great,
R
great,
word.
yeah. Yeah, and
I'm so scared, but
Why?
so
So
excited.
scared.
okay, tell me, no, this is really, really good. Tell me why you're scared.